Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Dita Junika Putri. My ID number is 3321010 and I'm from class 33.68.01. And here I want to presentation about apply linguistic final term. Let's start to solve the problem number 1. In applying linguistic theory to identify bias in news reporting, Mr. Thompson should focus on several key linguistic features. 1. Lexical choice and framing, selection of words and phrases. The specific vocabulary used to describe individuals, events, or situations can significantly influence how readers perceive them. For instance, referring to a group as militants versus freedom fighters frame their action differently, potential as aggressor or defenders. Such lexical choice reflect the news outlet's stance and can subtly sway public opinion by evoking certain emotion or judgment. Loaded language. New articles may employ loaded language, words with strong emotional connotation to manipulate reader sentiments. For example, using flood versus influx to describe immigration can portray the issue as a crisis or manageable situation, respectively. This framing can bias readers toward particular interpretation of the event. Number 2. Syntactic structure and sentence pattern, complexity and clarity. The complexity of sentence structure can affect how information is perceived. Complex sentence or passive voice construction can obfuscate responsibility or intent, potential shielding certain parties from criticism. Clear and direct sentence enhance transparency and make it easier for readers to grasp the intended meaning without ambiguity. Attribution of action. How actions are attributed in news reporting, whether explicitly to individuals or groups, can influence accountability perception. Passive voice construction, like it was decided or it is believed, obscure who made decision or holds beliefs, thus shifting responsibility away from specific actor and potentially biasing interpretation of event. Number 3. Grammatical features and modality. Hedging and modality markers. The use of hedging example possibly, seems to, and modal verbs example should, must can indicate the certainty or doubt of statements. Overuse of hedging can weaken the impact of assertions, suggesting uncertainty where none may exist, while strong modal verbs can imply a definitive stance that might not be universally accepted. Such nuances in modality can subtly shape reader perception of the credibility and certainty of reported information. Quotation and source. The selection and presentation of quotes from source can influence the perceived reliability and bias of a news article. Direct quotation provide transparency and allow readers to assess the viewpoint firsthand. However, selective quoting or out-of-content usage can distort the original intent or meaning, leading to biased representation of viewpoints or events. By systematically analyzing this linguistic feature across articles from different news outlets. Mr. Thompson can identify patterns that indicate bias in reporting. This approach aligns with applied linguistic theory, which emphasizes the examination of language in context to understand its social and communicative function. By uncovering this linguistic bias, Mr. Thompson can contribute to a more critical understanding of how language shapes public opinion and perception of new events. Next, to the problem number 2. Promoting the use and preservation of indigenous language through education is crucial of maintaining cultural heritage and linguistic diversity. Here's how the government can develop a language policy based on applied linguistic principle. Number 1, curriculum integration. Inclusion of indigenous language. Integrate indigenous language into the national education curriculum at various levels, from primary to tertiary education. This includes offering courses or modules where students can learn indigenous language as subject, similar to how foreign languages are taught. Such inclusion not only provides linguistic skill but also fosters pride and cultural identity among speakers of indigenous language. Number 2, bilingual and multilingual education. Bilingual education programs. Implement bilingual education programs where indigenous languages are used alongside the national language as medium of instruction, especially in regions where these languages are predominantly spoken. Research in applied linguistics shows that bilingual education supports cognitive development and academic achievement while preserving indigenous languages. Multilingual education encourages a broader approach to multilingualism in education, recognizing and supporting multiple indigenous languages alongside the national language. This can be achieved through flexible language policies that accommodate local linguistic diversity. Number 3, teacher training and research. Training for indigenous language teachers. Provide specialized training programs and certification for teachers of indigenous language. This ensures that there are qualified educators who can teach this language effectively and maintain their quality in education system. Development of teaching materials. Invest in development of curriculum materials, textbooks, and digital research in the indigenous language. This research should be culturally relevant and linguistically accurate, catering to the specific needs and context of indigenous communities. Number 4, community engagement and support. Community involvement. Engage local communities, elders, and language experts in the development and implementation of language policies. Their input ensure that policies are culturally sensitive and responsive to community needs. Promotion and awareness campaign. Conduct public awareness campaign highlighting the value of indigenous language and the benefit of bilingualism. This campaign can encourage parents to support their children in learning and using indigenous language, both at home and in educational setting. Number 5, recognition and official status. Official recognition. Recognize the status of indigenous language within the national legal framework, affirming their importance in national identity and cultural diversity. These include policies that protect linguistic rights and promote the use of indigenous language in public and official domain where appropriate. By implementing these strategies rooted in applied linguistic principle, the government can effectively promote the use and preservation of indigenous language through education. This approach not only support linguistic diversity but also contributes to social cohesion and national unity by respecting and celebrating the country's cultural pluralism. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation about applied linguistic final term. Thank you so much. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.